A 5 RBI game yesterday, a career high. Blackman, Arenado, one of the game's elite. Trevor Story, a breakout season at short. Desmond in left. Chris Iannetta behind the plate. Then Noel Cuevas, Pat Malika, and Tyler Anderson to face 38-year-old left-hander Rich Hill, making his 9th start of the year.
Well, Rich Hill, this is his 3rd start since coming off of the disabled list. In his last start against the Mets, he kind of struggled a little bit. He ended up going 5 innings, giving up 4 earned runs. But then you look at the start right before that, where he came off the DL. He was pitched against the dreaded Cubs that we just saw here recently. He ended up going 6 innings in Chicago, not allowing a run, only allowing 3 hits. Looking for that consistency once again in his command for both his curveball and his fastball, and hoping to go a little bit deeper into today's game.
Rich Hill in his career against the Rockies is 0-3 and an ERA of 7.5. And here's LeMahieu. Mentioned yesterday he had 5 RBIs in the Rockies win up in San Francisco. LeMahieu and Blackman and Nolan Arenado on a beautiful night. 72 degrees at game time. Dodgers have beaten the Rockies 5 out of 6 this season, and since 2013 the Dodgers are 59-42 against the Rocks. So we're underway. The Rockies have scored more runs in the first inning than any other team in baseball, 70. That's their good news. The bad news is they've given up 70 runs in the first inning, which is more than any other team in baseball, so we may see some early fireworks tonight as Hill quickly gets in front, 0-2. A gentle breeze from left to right. Hill delivers, breaking ball just outside, and it's 1-2. LeMahieu with 8 home runs and 30 runs batted in. All-star second baseman. Slowly hit to his counterpart, Logan Forsythe. We're underway.
You were just saying that stat that they scored 70 runs in the first inning. A starting pitcher could look at that stat and say, okay, well, in the very first inning, I'm not going to kind of ease into it when I'm facing these hitters where, okay, maybe I'll just show them a couple of pitches and then maybe wait till that second or third time through the lineup to try to go look at and show them some other pitches, maybe some breaking balls, some off speed. But Rich Hill doesn't have to worry about that because Rich Hill goes at you at the very first time. He will show you his whole repertoire and attack you with off speed stuff, fastballs, whatever it takes to get you out.
Blackman at 274 with 14 home runs, facing a shift on the right side of the infield. You may have noticed the note about the 306 batting average against lefties. That is 5th all-time among left-handed hitters against left-handed pitching. He's in pretty good company with Ichiro, Tony Gwynn, Rod Carew, and Larry Walker. A ball and a strike to Blackman. And it's 1-2. Boy, the Rockies, they can hit with the best of them. Unfortunately, they pitch with the worst of them. Blackman, like so many Rockies, doesn't do nearly as well on the road as he does at home. And Hill with his first strikeout of the game, second out of the first.
Third baseman number 28, Nolan Arenado.
Comes at him with the fastball, finishing him off. Not that curveball, wanting it away. Wanted a little bit lower, but just a little bit of a miss. But if you're going to miss, it's still off the plate and gets a swing and miss.
Nolan Arenado has 10 first-inning home runs this year. As you might imagine, that's the best in baseball. 10 of his 19 home runs this season in the first inning. He was looking for a number 11 on that swing. He's 6th in the league at 308, 6th in the league with 88 hits. And Hill quickly out in front, 0-2. Arenado, National League leader with 19 home runs, 4th in the league with 56 runs batted in. And there's nobody better defensively at third base. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trevor Story is on deck. Two balls and two strikes. Rockies come in having won 5 of their last 10, only 7 of their last 20, and 12 of their last 30. So Bud Black's crew is 3 games under 500, beginning the night 8 behind the Diamondbacks. Giants have a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second in Phoenix. Backhanded and through into left field for a base hit. Of course, Taylor is still playing with a gimpy hamstring. I'm just wondering, going into the hole, was he as quick as he ordinarily might have been?
Well, at the same time, before he gets to start, one thing they did, they really slow played Chris Taylor. They wanted to see his reaction on balls such as that in the hole. And it seems like he's okay. I think that's the biggest thing. Whether he makes the play or not, they're just happy that he seems to be moving okay.
Well, that's a little more routine for Taylor. Story is retired, and so are the Rockies. No runs and a base hit. Taylor, Hernandez, and Turner will lead off in the bottom of the first. Dodgers, here's their lineup tonight. Chris Taylor leading it off, to be followed by Kike Hernandez and Justin Turner. Bellinger's been hot in the cleanup spot. Matt Kemp in left field hitting 5th. Logan Forsythe at second base is hitting 6th. No Muncy tonight, likely to play tomorrow. Puig in right, Barnes catching. Rich Hill pitching and batting 9th against Tyler Anderson, the 28-year-old, with a record of 4 up and 3 down.
He's making his 17th start of the season. This is his second start versus the Dodgers. In his first start in Colorado, got a no decision, went 5 innings, gave up 7 hits on 5 earned runs. You were talking about the 70 runs scored by the Colorado Rockies in the first inning and the 70 runs given up by the staff of the Colorado Rockies. Well, for Tyler Anderson, he's allowed 14 runs in the first inning in 16 starts. That's a 7.8 ERA in that first inning.
He's given up 14 of the 70 runs. With a fly ball to right field, back at the wall, and against the wall, Noel Cuevas makes the catch. I was about to say he's given up 14 of the 70 first inning runs given up by Colorado pitching this year. It was almost 50.
Well, CT3 taking the ball down and driving it the other way, not pulling off of it, giving it a good ride, just not enough. Nice play out there by Cuevas.
So 1 out, and Kike Hernandez coming up. Kike now at 13 home runs. Last 16 games, he's been as hot as any Dodger. As he takes a strike, it's 0-1. The Dodgers and the Rockies both have 4 hitters with at least 13 home runs. Bellinger, Kike, Kemp, and Muncy for the Dodgers. Arenado, Blackman, Desmond, and Story for the Rockies. As Kike takes inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just underway. Charlie Blackman. He's got 14 of them for Colorado. The 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. What is Kike Hernandez doing differently now than he has done in the past?
You know, I think we talked about the pregame. He's got 10. This is his 10th start in a row. And I think one of the things is with him recognizing that he's going to get more playing time, especially some of the injuries, I think he's been able to relax more and not press as much. I think every time when he was early in the season, he knows he looks himself as a starting player, and that's good. That's what you want from guys, utility guys. But I think every time he'd go up there, he'd be looking to try to hit a home run every single time, trying to impress, to try to get in that lineup. He's in there now. Now he can relax and just play.
Down on strikes, and there's 2 gone.
Third baseman, number 10, Justin
Turner. At 256. And Turner, of course, missed the first 40 games coming off the broken left hand, wrist. And you almost get a sense only now is he beginning to swing with greater fluidity and less pain. Or as players like to call it, discomfort.
Well, it's definitely going to take some time, and they also touched on it. Dave Roberts has talked about it, that there's going to be some soreness. He's got to battle through the, I guess, the new normal for this year with that soreness in the wrist. That is a lot easier said than done. Even, listen, you can play through pain. Guys can deal with pain. But that's not the problem, and especially when you're dealing with the pain in your hands or your wrists. Because if you have it with your legs, you can kind of ease into certain things. You can kind of cover for it. But swinging the bat, you can't cover for that. You can't, and your body will naturally protect itself from the pain. So all it takes is a little adjustment, or your body doing it with it subconsciously without you recognizing it. And it's a difference between you squaring the ball up or even just fouling it off.
Turner's had great success against Anderson and fouls it back.
Such as that one. That's a perfect example. You're just touching on it. I mean, that ball, you see where that ball was being right down the middle, and he fouls it off. And I'm not saying he fouled it off because of his, but that's just an example of where there are times when things are feeling okay. You're crushing that, you're squaring that up, and then there are other times when you're dealing with an injury, you don't.
Turner down on strikes, and Anderson retires the Dodgers in order. We're scoreless heading to the 2nd. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Couldn't ask for a more beautiful early Friday night. Ian Desmond leading it off for the Rockies, and he takes inside and low, 1 ball, no strikes. Desmond is just .215, but 16 home runs on the year, and he has been hot in the last 3 weeks. Hill delivers a strike. And it's 1-1. Desmond, Iannetta, and Cuevas to hit for the Rockies in the second inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Desmond has fared much better against left-handed pitching. Hill has held opponents to a .271 average so far this year. Just a bit outside. 2-2. Ian Desmond, a career .267 hitter. At this year, just .215, and he is down on strikes. Second strikeout for Hill. First out of the second.
Catcher number 22, Chris Iannetta.
Early in this game, we're looking about the command for Rich Hill. The fastball command, hitting his spots. Having the fastball command really sets up his curveball, even though he always said he pitches off the curveball. We know that, but just because you pitch off the curveball, hitters will be able to make adjustments. That you also got to show them that you can have command of the fastball, keep them honest, so that curveball can be even more effective.
Iannetta's been hot the last 3 weeks, but on the first pitch he sees from Hill, he bounces routinely to Taylor, and there's 2 out. The Rockies are coming out swinging early in the count. Something of which you made a career. I remember when you first came up, and people were always talking to you about it. And you weren't defensive about it. You just said, this is what I do, and this is how I succeed. It was as simple as that.
I remember when I was in the minors, they asked me about it. Well, they were telling me about it. They came in. I was leading off. I was a leadoff hitter down AA, and they said, well, you're not going to be able to be successful doing that. And I said, okay, when I start not having success, I'll change. Okay, I'll listen to you, but until then, I think I'm going to do it.
Here's the 0-1. What is the advantage, in your particular case, of swinging at the first pitch?
Well, it's not a matter of advantage. I mean, it's funny because in this day and age of analytics and statistics, Major League average batting average on the first pitch is around .330. It's been like that for the last 50 years. So they keep missing that part of analytics, or they overlook that. But for me, it wasn't a matter that I didn't go up there with the intent of swinging at the first pitch. I went up there ready to hit the first pitch. There's a difference. And I had a plan on what I wanted to do during that at bat, and I was looking for a pitch to execute it. And if it was the first pitch, I was going to do it.
Well, speaking of execution, Cuevas down on strikes. 3 strikeouts for Hill. And Bellinger will lead off the second when we come back. 16 home runs and 40 runs batted in. And along the way, he has lifted his average to 242, struggling the first couple of months of the season. For a good last week, a quarter of his home runs on the year have come in the last 7 games. 8 of his 16 home runs in the last 20 games. Bellinger, Kemp, and Forsythe to hit against Tyler Anderson as we begin the second. Giants 1-0 over the D-backs in the bottom of the third. 0-1 to Bellinger. Dodgers have won 5 of 6 from the Rockies so far this year. 2-1 here, 3-0 up there. On 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes. Bellinger's numbers getting steadily better this month, as the Dodgers have. The Dodgers as a team are 17-7. This time a year ago in June, they were 21-7. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cody Bellinger. Anderson's 17th start as Bellinger takes just low, and it's 2-2. On 2 balls and 2 strikes, Cody Bellinger pops it to the left side, and that's Arenado all by himself. They're on near third base. Here comes 27, Matt Kemp, who has been, over the course of his career, out of this world against the Rockies. But Matt has been slumping lately. Stepping into the batter's box, hitting .306, and that was the Land Rover Performance Spotlight.
It's hard to believe to say that. You're like, all right, jumping in at .306. He's got 47 RBIs, which leads the team.
And he's
slumping.
To the left side, who's going to call it? Every picture tells a story, don't it? 2 out.
Second baseman, number 11, Logan Forsythe.
Now here's Forsythe, who has been struggling. He is 0 for his last 18. He's had some success against Anderson. First of 3 games with the Rockies. Then the Pirates are in next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thursday the 5th is an off day. Next weekend in Anaheim. Then 4 games in San Diego. And just before the All-Star break, the Angels will be here. And tonight, the 81st game. We're halfway through the season. 1 ball, 1 strike to Logan Forsythe. Yasiel Puig on deck. Into right. And Cuevas is right there. Anderson perfect through 2. We have no score heading to the 3rd.
The 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot is now open and exclusively online. Make sure your favorite Dodgers are represented on this year's squad by voting Dodgers.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard, July 17th, live on Fox.
Rich Hill. Rockies have all been first pitch swinging. Leica flies routinely to Kemp. One pitch, one out in the third. Well, that plays into the pitcher's hand, doesn't it?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, if the pitcher knows they're going to be first pitch swinging, then we'll see if he makes adjustments as well. But a lot of, like we talked about, a lot of damage happens on that very first pitch. A lot of time, I mean, we always talk to pitchers. What are they trying to do? All the great ones. Well, ask Clayton Kershaw. What are you trying to do? First pitch. I'm trying to get ahead. Oh, what a concept. Of course you are. Because you're so much more effective and the batter's, in trouble doing so. So batters are being ready.
Usually not that much of an issue for a fellow like Anderson. Takes a strike, going one. He's 2 for 24, so he's just happy to be here. LeMahieu on deck.
But if hitters, it's a difference though. You tell yourself you're being aggressive off a pitcher and you are going after a lot of bad pitches and just swinging out of the zone. And that's something else. And then you start talking to each other in the dugout if you're doing it collectively.
Naturally, Anderson singles to center.
Of course.
One out and one on.
Number 9, DJ LeMahieu.
Here's LeMahieu, who bounced to second base in his first at-bat. LeMahieu at 6'4" and 220 is the biggest second baseman in the game. Last year, 310, 2016, hit 348. Fouls it off, nothing in one.
If you're looking at statistics too on pitchers and what they try to do, I mean, Rich Hill's on the first pitch, hitters are batting .471 off of him. And then if he gets 0-1 on you, then your average goes down to 191.
So the battle is really in the very first pitch. LeMahieu has just bounced into a double play and another efficient inning for Rich Hill. We'll go to the bottom of the third. No score from Dodger Stadium. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit SoCalBMW.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try the $4.99 Jack Spicy Chicken Club Combo with toasted sourdough. New from Jack in the Box. Scoreless as we head to the home half of the third. The Dodgers still looking for their first base runner. Off Tyler Anderson. He's 6'3", 215 from Vegas. He came up with the Rockies in 2016. And he entered the game tonight with an ERA of 4 2/3 against Rich Hill, who entered the game with an ERA of 5 1/3. And what do you know? We're scoreless heading to the bottom half of the third inning. It'll be Puig and Barnes and Hill. Meanwhile, in Arizona, the top of the fourth, the Giants are leading the Diamondbacks 1-0. Arizona beginning the night 3.5 in front of the Dodgers, 5.5 in front of San Francisco. Here comes Puig with 9 home runs and 27 runs batted in. Puig this month is hitting .310. 4 of his home runs and 10 of his RBIs in the month of June, and against the Rockies he has excelled. So Puig and Barnes and Hill to face Anderson in the bottom half of the third. Dodgers still looking for their first base runner. Into short right. Cuevas in foul territory. So both teams swinging at first pitches.
Catcher number 15,
Hill,
Barnes.
30 pitches through 3. And 7 batters in. Anderson has thrown only 21 pitches. Barnes at .220 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. 0-1. Tomorrow it's a Fox game. If you're coming out to the yard, first pitch 4:15, German Marquez and Kenta Maeda. Sunday at 1:10, Chad Bettis and Ross Stripling. The 0-2 into the Dodger dugout. Alex Wood came right to him. That's Max Muncy. Night off tonight. Hips a little stiff. And the 0-2 just outside. 1-2. Anderson in search of his 5th win of the year. The Rockies this year, team ERA is dead last. They've got the best third baseman certainly in the league. But their earned run average at 509, 15th. Bullpen 553, 15th. So they've been losing close ones and late ones. And the 1-2. Anderson just missing 2 balls and 2 strikes. And those late inning losses are particularly galling. They linger longer.
They actually wear your position players out. And what I mean by that, you feel like you're just grinding the entire game. We talked about how successful they are at scoring early. They're the best in baseball scoring in the first inning, so they get an early lead, and then all of a sudden they see that early lead diminish. And then they feel like they get a lead maybe in the middle of the game, and then they get the bullpen, and that lead diminishes again.
Barnes will see another pitch.
So it feels just like a constant grind on the offensive side, and then even on the defensive side, one, because you're out there for a while, but there's no mental break. Whereas there are times we talk about how important it is to have a closer and maybe a setup guy where you think you can shorten the game. Maybe if you have the lead, all you need is the lead in the 6th inning. You have the 7th, and you have the 8th and 9th locked down. Or even if you have the 6th, 7th, and 8th locked down. I mean, you're set. If you can shorten the game to 6 innings, it's fantastic.
For Bud Black, he has had the Indiana Jones rickety bridge to the other side.
Yeah. And even the Dodgers right now, they don't have that one go-to guy. They were talking about that 8th inning guy to get the bridge to gap to Kenley Jansen.
10th pitch of the at-bat is the last one. 3rd strikeout for Tyler Anderson. 2 out, nobody on. Rich Hill coming up.
Have another look. He just goes after him with a fastball on the outer half and catches the corner. It was a good pitch by Tyler Anderson.
Rich Hill takes a strike. It's 0-1. Hill is 0 for 11 this year. What he has attempted to do to try to get on, at least drag a bunt or 2. That hasn't worked out yet either. That is the 4th strikeout for Anderson, who has been perfect through 3. No score heading to the 4th. Up there.
For you on a couple of guys that are starters but might be coming out of the bullpen. First, Walker Buehler. Dave Roberts saying earlier today that they weren't exactly sure what the next step was for the young right-hander. However, right before the game, he was optioned to single A Rancho Cucamonga. They're going to have him down there, have some controlled innings as they work to stretch him back out to making sure he can come back as his starter. Caleb Ferguson down for the next couple of days, but Dave Roberts said for the time being, the plan is to keep Caleb Ferguson, who is a starter, in the bullpen. He'll be able to come out of that bullpen either Sunday or Monday, guys.
So they didn't know what the next step was for Walker Buehler, but they now know what the next stop is. Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah, you know, we just found that out almost at the beginning of the game. There was really no corresponding move. We've seen the Dodgers do that option oftentimes to get arms, but they didn't. They just optioned them. They're playing with a man short right now. Down. They didn't call anybody up. But we are also wondering, you know, questioning when they ended up activating him when he was already in Oklahoma City. Talk about the freaking flyer mileage. He was at Oklahoma City, there, landed, then turned right around the next morning, then pitched, and now Rancho Cucamonga. Well, he doesn't have to fly there. He can drive there, but he's making some stops.
Blackman squaring to bunt. Takes it on his hand. And the Rockies can only hold their breath. neighborhood of that old Hammond bone.
Trying to bunt for a base hit, comes right at him. He spins around, gets the bat out of the way, and you can see it hits that kind of like near the wrist, bottom part of the hand. Got him good, spun him around.
Well, the Rockies trainer gives him the thumbs up. Now, if only Blackman could give himself the thumbs up.
Yeah. Right now, that's going to hurt to do that. He's just waiting for the pain to subside.
So the Rockies, with their leadoff man aboard the hard way. And here's Nolan Arenado, who happens to be the National League defending player of the week. Taking high, 1 ball, no strikes. Arenado singled to left in his first at bat. Story on deck. Arenado in the past week, 379. 5 home runs, 13 RBIs, 7 runs scored. That's why he got to be player of the week. One ball and 1 strike. One of those talk show questions. If you were going to start a franchise and you had the pick, you know, you've got Trout, you've got this fella here.
Yeah.
They're just but a handful.
Arenado would definitely be one of the top picks. That's for sure. It's not only what he does on the offensive side, defensively. I always say every series, you're going to walk away from a series and remember a play that he made in that series.
1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nolan Arenado. Now in his 6th big league season. Five straight Gold Glove awards for Arenado. Down on strikes. We've been talking about the first pitch swinging that the Rockies have done a lot of tonight.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at that Carl's camp, but watch where they're set up. This is why they're swinging at it, because that was down the middle. Rich Hill wants it away, but they're coming in. I know the hitter early in the count, I'm looking for a ball in, a ball to drive, and they were actually getting them. That's where they swung at him. I think Rich Hill kind of got away with them. Kind of missed his spots, was looking to go away, came in. They just happened to miss-hit him.
And by swinging early in the count, a very manageable pitch count here in the 4th.
Coming into this game, Rich Hill was averaging 17.2 pitches per inning.
And he has thrown 36 through the first 4 innings.
You can do the math yourself at home.
Easy for you to say. No balls and 1 strike. Well, you did well in math.
When I was younger.
Well,
things have a tendency to, you know, get away from you as you get older.
Really?
I used to be able to run too when I was younger. I can't do that anymore. So
0-1. There's a strike. Meanwhile, Trevor Story has really had a breakout year this year. He's at 270. 16 home runs, 2nd in the league with 58 RBIs. And the big thing is he's not striking out nearly as much as he used to. Bellinger's going to run out of room. Last year, for instance, Story struck out 191 times. At the halfway mark of the season, he's at 90. But what he has done, he's walked more, put more balls into play, and he's always been a terrific power hitter. And he's 2nd in the league with 58 runs batted in. The Rockies' cleanup hitter tonight. Blackman over at first base. He's stolen 5 this year. Bill's got a pretty good move. And to this point, Rich has been in pretty firm control. Ian Desmond on deck. There goes Blackman. And we'll do it again as Story fouls it off. Had the base stolen, too.
First move, great jump by Blackman. And nothing Story could do. You're going, listen, well, get the pitch. And got 2 strikes, got a swing.
One ball, 2 strikes. To short. Backhanded by Taylor. Can't get it out of his glove fast enough to turn the double play. So Blackman out at second. Story will take his place at first. 2 gone.
Does a nice backhand. Was trying to be quick with it. You can just see how much he really struggled. I'll tell you, with these new rules now at second base, where you're not allowed to take out the second baseman or shortstop at second, makes it a lot easier for Logan Forsythe to be calm there and just wait for it, because if you're a second baseman in that situation with the old rules, you're going, uh-oh, I am going to be taken out. I'm in a lot of trouble. You just automatically get to the back of the bag and become a first baseman, get it, and get out of the way.
You're halfway to left field in the old days.
Yeah. Gosh, I miss those days.
Like you missed the running and all the other stuff you were just
I mean, that was part of baseball. I really dislike that rule, what they do at second base, because now you don't get to see some of the athleticism of these middle infielders that you used to see.
Ian Desmond, a ball and no strikes. It's now 1-1. Well, you got the Utley rule, and you got the play at the plate rule.
Yep, they can go change them and go back to the way they used to be. That'd be great.
There's Chase. Playoffs a couple of years back in New York. Story, and even with all that power, has also got 10 stolen bases this year.
And usually this is where if you're a base stealer, you're thinking, okay, will he come over 3 times? A lot of times after twice, you're going, all right, he came over twice. I don't know if he's going to go 3 times, so that first move, I'm just going to jump and go.
But now this is a perfect count for the runner to go. 1 and 2 and 2 out. Let us see. Barnes has thrown out 3 of 10 this year. Story stays put. Desmond swings late and stays alive. Ionetta on deck and Cuevas to follow. Scoreless with 2 out in the top of the 4th. Desmond will see another pitch. In terms of average, he has struggled all year. About 50 points below his career average. When a first base coach goes over and says whatever he has to say to the runner, and the first baseman is right there, what can he possibly say that's terribly meaningful?
Just sometimes a reminder, how many outs, check your outfielders. If maybe the outfielders may have moved, the right fielder maybe moved a little bit, check them out. Look at now they're looking at the third base coach as he's giving signs, so he stands over there to help him out with what the signs as well.
You're having a look at Tony Diaz, the first base coach for the Rockies. Stu Cole for the Dodgers, and Desmond bangs a base hit into right. First and second, 2 out. And Iannetta coming up.
Number 2, Chris Iannetta.
Ian Desmond does a good job just kind of shortening up. Ball was on the outer half, just putting it in play and finding a hole.
Iannetta bounced to short in the second inning. 5 home runs and 18 runs batted in, scoreless. 2 out in the top half of the 4th. Giants continue to lead the Diamondbacks 1-0. They're playing in the 5th in Phoenix. Iannetta pops it up on the first pitch he sees. Bellinger will run out of room.
That's what we were talking about in those first pitches. Oh, Austin Barnes setting up away, wanting that ball away, and once again riding in on the hitter.
7 Rockies have swung at the first pitch tonight. Iannetta, no balls and 2 strikes. So it sounds simplistic. Whoever seems to win the first pitch battle. In the case of Hill, this is now just his 52nd pitch with 2 out of the 4th.
Realistically, it's first pitch battle. It doesn't matter whether it's Rich Hill, but I know what you mean, and we've seen the numbers where really you can see the big difference for Rich Hill. But also, too, you got a guy who has a good curveball. I mean, when you're sitting around as your teammate on the offensive side going over the scouting report, you're like, you know he likes the curveball. Do you want to get behind? If he gives you a fastball, if he's going to give it to you early, be ready to hit it.
2 on, 2 out. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Iannetta came up with the Rockies in 2006 and then to the Angels from 2012 through 15. 2016 up in Seattle, last year in Arizona, and he has returned to Colorado. And the 1-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. 5th strikeout for Hill. We have no score after 3.5 from Dodger Stadium.
Join T-Mobile in showing appreciation for all military by sharing a photo or video with the hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Well, stay tuned tonight for an all-new Backstage Dodgers as Ross Stripling spends an off day on the trading floor at the New York Stock Exchange. Plus, bullpen coach Mark Pryor returns to Wrigley Field and looks back on his playing career with the Cubs. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers presented by Cadillac right after the post-game show on Sportsnet LA.
Tyler Anderson has been perfect through the first 3 innings. We're scoreless heading into the bottom of the 4th. Chris Taylor fly to deep right in his first at-bat, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Taylor, Hernandez, and Turner to hit. The Rockies this month averaging almost 6 runs per game, most in Major League Baseball. And the Dodgers, of course, lead the National League with 109 home runs. So what do we have? It's scoreless in the bottom of the 4th. Anderson on 0-2, and Taylor takes low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So a couple of high-power offenses going at it. And we got nothing to show for it so far. Taylor down on strikes, and Anderson has retired the first 10 Dodger hitters he has faced.
Number 14, Kike Hernandez.
And 5 of the 10 outs, strikeouts. And here is Kike Hernandez, already a career high with 13 home runs. He has started at every position for the Dodgers this year except pitcher and catcher. Tonight he's in center field. He hits lefties very well. So he's starting in center. Peterson is watching tonight. Subject to change as this game progresses. Muncy is sitting it out tonight. A bit of a hip issue, but Dave Roberts says he'll be back tomorrow. Popped up. The dusk is playing havoc. Well, Mayhew got it. Trevor Story might have been in Alaska. He had no idea where that ball was into the dusk.
Oh, that's a helpless feeling. It's a helpless feeling when you know it's coming at you and you can't see it. And then when you know it's not at you, then you're going, I'm supposed to be helping my fellow teammates. So you hope that he sees it because he can't see it and you're not helping. You're like, oh, we are in trouble.
There is nothing you can do except for wait for it to come down because inevitably it does. Turner takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Very rare do they just stay up there. But it happens. You see those in some domes can get stuck up there. So
yeah, but that's when it hits a speaker.
Right. Well, can hit a catwalk and stay there in Tampa.
Happened the other night. Pop up to third that actually was on his way to being a home run to left. Hit the speaker and the third baseman caught it, was an out. It was fine ground rules. And Turner just finds a sliver down the right field line, and for a moment he thought about stretching it, but with 2 out, why bother?
That was a good read by Justin Turner. Good swings inside out. Staying on the ball. Just fair down the line, but it's in front of him. It's running with his head up. He was thinking like, all right, I might be able to get to second, especially with 2 outs, get into scoring position. But he also saw the way Cuevas played that ball off the wall, getting to it, and made the right decision in holding up.
Bellinger popped to short in his first at-bat. And the single for Turner, the Dodgers' first hit of the night. A 2-out single to right. Bottom of the 5th in Phoenix. Giants still leading at 1-0. Bellinger pops it to the left. Arenado will make the catch in front of the Dodger dugout, and that will end the inning. No runs and 1 hit, and we have no score heading to the 5th. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. It's Toyota's Red, White, and U sales event. Celebrate your independence with a great deal on a new Camry. Pretty as a picture on this Friday night at Dodger Stadium. We are scoreless, heading to the fifth. As lovely as that sky looks on the screen for infielders and outfielders, pop-ups, that ain't very pretty. Trevor Story nearly found that out the hard way in the bottom half of the fourth.
Chris Taylor is reminding all the outfielders and the infielders that, listen, help each other out.
Now here's Cuevas. No balls and a strike. Another first pitch swing for Rocky hitters tonight. Bottom third of the Colorado lineup. Cuevas, Valleca, and Anderson. As Hill misses inside, 1-1. Hill gets ahead 1-2. Hill has struck out 5, hasn't walked anybody. Anderson has struck out 5. He hasn't walked anybody. We've got a pitcher's duel. Who'd have thunk? Both pitchers have been sensational tonight. Ahead in the count. No walks. A 1-2. We'll do it again. The Dodger bullpen has been busy and to some degree burned. The Rocky bullpen has just been awful all year. Their earned run average is .553, dead last in the league. So both managers are hoping that their starters can go as long into this game as humanly possible. There have been too many fires in that firehouse this year. Dave Roberts and his bench coach Bob Guerin. Cuevas struck out swinging in his first at bat. We'll see another pitch. He would like to see that pitch again. 90-mile-an-hour fastball through the heart of the plate. On the outside corner, the 6th strikeout of the game for Hill, and that's the first out of the 5th.
Well, he didn't get to see that pitch again. Instead, he gets one that's painted on the corner, down and away. That's the spot that Hill has been trying to hit on a regular basis all night. Talked about, we showed it earlier. He was trying to hit that spot even with the very first pitch of that bat, but hasn't been able to do it on a consistent basis, but has been getting away with it. There it is again. Trying to get that fastball over for a strike on the arm side.
Valleca, the UCLA Bruin, flied to left field in his first at bat and falls behind 0-2. Hill, as we mentioned in the open, didn't pitch especially well on Sunday back in New York on 0-2. Breaking ball, just high. 4 runs and 5 hits in 5 innings against the Mets. Dodgers would eventually win it in 11 on the Turner home run. So the blister no longer an issue. And how did he conquer the fickle finger of fate? Lasers. Here's the 1-2. In days of yore, in fact, when Nolan Ryan first came up with the Mets, what, almost 50 years ago, everybody knew he could throw 100 miles an hour. He's big, powerful. He's a relief pitcher with his big legs and stuff. He had blisters. So they were trying to figure out what to do about his blisters. To center field and deep. And Kike Hernandez runs out of room. Valleca hits a home run, his first of the year, and the Rockies take a 1-0 lead.
Rich Hill gets a ball up in the zone, a fastball, he knows it. Missed his spots. We've seen him miss some spots but get away with it today. That one he did not. Giving up his 9th home run to a right-handed batter this year.
Kike ever so close. To finish off the blister story, and not a moment too soon, I might add. Nolan Ryan, they couldn't figure out what to do about the blisters on his fingers. Here's a guy throwing 100 miles an hour. He's a phenom. They were getting all sorts of suggestions, recommendations, and somebody came up with the idea, pickle brine. So he used to soak his fingers in pickle brine every day. 50 years later, they use lasers. Breaking ball. Anderson is done. That's a 7th strikeout for Hill, and the 2nd out of the 5th.
And I think Hill did try pickle brine. Hill tried everything.
Your old teammate in 2 places.
Yes.
Derek Lowe had some of the ugliest blisters. It was on his thumb.
And then we had a trainer here when I was with the Dodgers, Stan Johnston.
The Cowboy.
Yep. And he had a concoction because he got a lot of blisters from in his bull riding days. And that's what Derek Lowe would use on his blisters. Every single day he'd be rubbing on his blisters. And I'll tell you, that worked for him. It was amazing.
1 ball and 1 strike. Johnston, like all bull riders, as you well know, has to hang on to that rough rope. They have a little glove on it. But the blisters on the palm of the hand are unimaginable. And so Stan Johnston came up with this concoction that worked. LeMahieu, a ball and 2 strikes.
I believe Derek Lowe was using that even prior to he was with the Dodgers. Heard about it, was using it. He would get it, then he was here with the Dodgers, then was still obviously using it, and then would still keep continually ordering it when he left the Dodgers as well.
LeMahieu takes outside, and it's 2-2. LeMahieu tonight, 0 for 2. He's bounced to second and bounced into a double play. But it seems so unfair that these finely tuned athletes with extraordinary abilities succumb to blisters. The 2-2. Just doesn't seem fair. But Hill has persevered, and tonight he has struck out 7, hasn't walked anybody. 2 out in the 5th, and his next pitch will be his 78th. Charlie Blackmon is on deck. And Lowe is a guy who came up originally as a relief pitcher, then a starter. Mariners, Red Sox, Dodgers. LeMahieu fouls it off. We'll talk about a much traveled career. Rich Hill. Chicago, Baltimore, Boston, Cleveland, Anaheim, New York, Boston, Oakland, and the Dodgers. The 2-2. We'll do it again. Hill in his career 51 and 38. LeMahieu, batting champion, a couple of years back, has made life miserable for Hill in their third confrontation tonight. We're in the 5th inning with 2 out. Diving catch made by Taylor. Spectacular play turned in. LeMahieu robbed of a hit, and that will end the inning. Valaika hits a home run. Taylor, a spectacular play. We go to the bottom half of the 5th.
Rockies take the lead on a home run by Valaika, but as we take a look at as a Morongo slow-mo cam, the Dodgers ended the inning with a fantastic play by CT3, laying out on a line drive off the bat of DJ LeMahieu. Rich Hill appreciating the effort and saying, all right, guys, let's get in the dugout and score some runs.
Matt Kemp will lead it off in the 5th. Popped to short in his first at-bat. They'll play the shift for Kemp on the left side of the infield. Anderson misses outside. Kemp popped to short in his first at-bat. The outfield actually plays Kemp toward right. The direction in which he fouls it off, and it's 1-1. Forsythe on deck, and then Puig to follow. As Kemp begins the bottom half of the 5th with a single to left.
Kemp does a good job. The ball was on the outer half. He just extends the arms out in front just a little bit, but when the bat's flat through the zone, your timing could be off. But the barrel, you square it up, it'll find some grass out there.
Now here's Forsythe, who has really been struggling. He's hitless in his last 19 at-bats. Kemp, his base hit, snapped an 0 for 14 slump. Got Puig on deck, and the Dodgers down by 1. Forsythe, a couple of home runs, 11 runs batted in. Kemp a short lead at first. 0-2 to Logan Forsythe. When you're slumping the way Forsythe is, strikes look like balls and balls look like strikes.
It's interesting. You know, the last 6 games, came into this game 0 for 18. But the 9 games prior, he was batting .370.
Well, this time he bounces into a 6-4-3 double play. Kemp never even does make it to second base. And there's 2 gone.
Well, fans, if you're looking for a place to put your spare change, be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance tomorrow when the Dodgers host the Rockies at 4:15 and receive a sliding, tongue-wagging Piggy Bank featuring Yasiel Puig and presented by Bank of America. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Piggy Bank just makes me laugh every time.
Like money in the bank. A fully clothed Piggy Bank. No balls and 1 strike to Puig, who fouled out in his first at-bat. 1-0 Colorado on the Valleca home run in the top half of the 5th. Puig with 9 home runs and 27 runs batted in. 1-2. Puig this month hitting .310. And the 1-2. We'll do it again. Austin Barnes on deck. Dodgers just have not been able to lock in on Anderson to this point. He has struck out 5, hasn't walked anybody. Going to be a very difficult play for Arenado. Puig beats the throw.
Number 15.
So they're checking. Yasiel Puig does an excellent job hustling down the line. The other thing he does a good job too, and it's not easy, is also staying on line, not running really inside into the field, where even in a play you're able to beat that out, where they might say, well, you're interfering with the play and running too far inside. Nope, he stays on the outer side of the baseline, gets down there, hustles, gets a base hit.
Clearly safe, 2 out, and Barnes coming up. Barnes took a call 3rd strike in his first at-bat. Grandal the night off and tossed to first base, and Puig, who has 7 stolen bases in 10 tries, back standing up. For Anderson, this is just going to be his 58th pitch. He has shut out the Dodgers on 3 hits. Colorado 1 run on the Valleca home run and 4 hits. One ball and no strikes to Austin Barnes. Rich Hill is on deck. Dodgers would love to get Barnes on base somehow, for obvious reasons. One, you get another guy on base and you get Puig to second. But just as importantly, Rich Hill, who is on deck and hasn't had a hit all year, you don't want him to start the next inning. The 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike to Austin Barnes.
Yeah, there's that. But what's interesting too is, you know, Rich Hill's looked really good. Obviously, that last inning he gave up a home run. But if Yasiel maybe tries to steal, then maybe they might think about pitching around Austin Barnes if he's safe. And then Rich Hill hasn't pitched past 6 innings this year. He's done 6 innings twice this year. So next inning's a 6th inning. So if Yasiel steals, he gets on second, then it makes a decision whether you want to walk Austin Barnes or not to get to the pitcher, or he gets a chance to do that, or Austin leads off the next inning, and if he gets on, then you can make a decision whether you pinch hit for Rich Hill or not at that time. So trying something not crazy here.
Slowly hit to third. That's not the guy you want to hit it to. That will end the inning. Arenado, 5-time Gold Glove winner. Time now to go inside the box score, brought to you by Kona Brewing Company. In the month of June, the Rockies led the majors almost 6 runs per game. The Dodgers lead the National League with 109 home runs. And what do we have? A pitcher's duel tonight. Through 5 innings, remarkably similar numbers. Hill has thrown a few more pitches. And he'll be facing Charlie Blackmon, Nolan Arenado, and Trevor Story. The other note to keep in mind as we begin this inning, Rich Hill is due to lead off in the bottom half of the 6th. We have to get there first. Blackmon, no balls and 1 strike. Blackmon squared the bunt back in the 4th inning and got hit in the hand. No balls, 2 strikes.
Isn't that what they say against Nolan Ryan? You don't square around the bunt because that's what would happen. I'm not saying Rich Hill's Nolan Ryan, but took a page out of his book.
Into short left. Taylor out. Kemp in. 1 gone.
Third baseman Nolan Arenado.
Well, here's Arenado, who has singled and has been struck out. National League Player of the Week. Now has 89 hits. He's 6th in the National League in that category. He's 1st in home runs with 19, 4th with 56 RBIs. Oh, he's hitting .365 with runners in scoring position. It's 0-2. As great as he was in his rookie year, and he's won the Gold Glove every year, he has taken his game to a new level seemingly every year. But Hill, the master of the domain, that's his 8th strikeout. 2 out and nobody on.
Just comes right at him with a fastball on the outer half. And you see that swing by Nolan Arenado, something we don't see too often from Nolan Arenado. Obviously, he was looking for something else to take that kind of a swing, but that also tells you the way Rich Hill's been pitching. He's been keeping the hitters off balance, been mixing up his pitches, his curveball, his fastball, not able to pick up a pattern or necessarily sit on one particular pitch.
Trevor Story bangs one to left center field. 1 hop off the wall, and Story on his way to second base with a 2-out sliding double. For Story, his 21st 2-base hit of the year.
Left fielder Ian Desmond.
Ian Desmond coming up. Desmond struck out in his first at-bat, single to right in the 4th inning. Has 16 home runs. Takes high and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Now it's 1-1 to Ian Desmond. On the year 217, a little bit better with runners in scoring position. 241. Ionetta on deck. It's pretty apparent the Dodgers will go to the bullpen in the 7th. So this could be Hill's last batter. Nobody yet has started to warm up in the Dodger bullpen, but there are about 3-4 players beginning to stretch out down there. First 3 innings, it was a smooth sail for Hill. In the 5th inning, the home run by Vallejo. Slowly hit. Turner picks it up with a bare hand and makes a terrific play. Justin Turner, Arenado-like. No runs, 1 hit after 5.5. 1-0 Colorado.
Look at our top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco. Well, Nolan Arenado, we were talking about at some point you're going to remember a play throughout a series that he makes, but JT, Justin Turner, does the same thing. Could barehand you and show you Nolan Arenado. I got the same play up my sleeve. I always say, as Dodger fans, we've had the luxury of watching Justin Turner play third for quite a few years here. Definitely a Gold Glove caliber third baseman. Just hasn't won one because of that guy over there in Colorado.
You remember when he first came up, Arenado? Juan Uribe was the Dodger third baseman that year. He was picking everything clean, and Dodger fans were irate. It should have been Uribe who won that Gold Glove. But they never got to watch Arenado play. And one of the compelling arguments, as Hill is going to bat for himself here in the bottom half of the 6th, was that you can't give a Gold Glove to a rookie. And he has won it every year since. Hill, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hill tonight has thrown 92 pitches, 72 for strikes, a season high 8 strikeouts. But Anderson's been a wee bit better. Iannetta. We mentioned earlier that Hill has been trying to get on base any way he can, even by bunting, and it continues to be an issue.
Shortstop, Chris Taylor.
1 out, and Taylor coming up. And Uribe was great that year. I mean, he was picking everything. One gone, and Chris Taylor coming up. In his first at-bat, he sent Noel Cuevas, the right fielder, all the way to the wall. Second at-bat, he struck out. Meanwhile, Tyler Anderson pitching his best game of the year, in search of his 5th win. Chris Taylor squares the bunt, takes it back, it's a strike, and it's 1-1. Anderson, first round pick of the Rockies in 2011. He was an Oregon Duck. Minus 1 and 2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Taylor with 1 out and nobody on in the 6th. Anderson in his last 8 road starts, 3-0, and his .285 earned run average. He's been even better than that tonight. Second time Taylor's been struck out. That's 6 strikeouts for Anderson, and there's 2 gone. Kike Hernandez 0 for 2 stepping in. He struck out and popped to second. Anderson in search of his 5th win. Kike Hernandez has started at every spot for Dave Roberts this year except pitch and catch. No balls and 2 strikes. Third base umpire is a vacation reliever, Ryan Additon. It was his call once the ball passed the third base bag. .35-year-old vacation reliever trying to make it to the big time permanently. 7th strikeout of the game for Anderson. Kike Hernandez not the least bit happy. We'll go to the 7th. Rockies 1-0. Dodger calendar tomorrow, the Fox game. Got Herman Marquez and Kenta Maeda Sunday. It's Chad Bettis and Ross Stripling, and then the Pirates are in Monday night, Tuesday night at a 5 o'clock 4th of July special. Another reason why Rich Hill hit for himself. A, the Dodger bullpen has been on fumes of late. Iannetta fouls it off 0-1. 2, a story that we came to learn just as we went on the air tonight. Walker Buehler was sent to Single-A Rancho Cucamonga to regain his strength. The Dodgers have not replaced him on the roster, so they're not only tuckered out in the bullpen, they're a man down. And so Hill has ended up doing his fair share of the bargain tonight, pitching now into the 7th inning.
Being effective, if you're looking at what the most pitches that Hill has thrown this season. It's been 98 has been the number. It's also not just 98 that is on the mind of Dave Roberts. He also looks at the type of innings that Rich Hill has had. Yeah, we showed how the 4th and 5th, he threw a lot of pitches in those innings.
But they weren't high-stress pitches.
Correct. And Dave Roberts always takes that into consideration.
Well, Rick Honeycutt on the phone. He's not ordering pizza.
Well, he might be. Just not going to get it with that phone.
In the 1969 World Series, the Baltimore Orioles had a relief pitcher named Mo Drabowski. And at Shea Stadium, from the bullpen, you could make calls out. As Iannetta goes to first. Scott Alexander's going to start working for the Dodgers here in the 7th.
Right fielder Noel
And
Cuevas.
Drabowski, as the story goes, called a Chinese restaurant in Hong Kong to order out. I don't believe it got there before the end of the game. But Drabowski was a character, and they swear it's true.
Well, was it waiting for him at home?
It's at Shea Stadium. It's right off the Long Island Expressway. You can't miss it. So Iannetta gets hit by the pitch, and Cuevas, it's no balls and a strike. Pat Valaika, who hit the home run back in the 5th inning. The only run of the game is on deck. And it's 0-2 to Noel Cuevas, who has struck out twice tonight. There's Valaika, UCLA Bruin. Meanwhile, Hill has hit triple figures. It's going to be his 101st pitch. Did he go around? Yep. Brian Gorman didn't need a second opinion from first base umpire Will Little. Cuevas has been struck out for the 3rd time tonight.
First baseman Pat Valaika.
Now we're going to take a look at our Volkswagen replay. It's Pat Valaika as the only run so far in this game. Takes a fastball over the left center wall. Kike just missed it.
First home run of the year on his 10th hit of the season. So Alexander warming up in the Dodger bullpen. Anderson, the pitcher, is due to hit next. There's nobody in the on-deck circle as yet. And now he's out of the dugout. And now it looks like he's on his way back. Going to get a new helmet. Alexander appears to be close to being ready. No balls and 2 strikes. Hill rebounding nicely from his last outing. That was on Sunday in New York. And tonight, 1 run, 5 hits. And Valaika is the only blemish on Hill's card. Valaika out of Valencia. A 9th round pick of the Rockies. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh, Valaika appears to have a pretty good eye on what Hill is doing tonight. Rick Honeycutt. His numbers speak for himself. Hill finally wins the battle with his 10th strikeout of the night. There's 2 gone. And Anderson will bat for himself.
A really good curveball from Rich Hill, because that one started off at the top of the strike zone and ended up on the bottom. Good tight break.
Nose to toes. Anderson is 1 for 2. Strike. Neither manager appears to be wildly enthused about the prospects of going to their respective bullpens. There's a beautiful breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Anderson with his 2nd hit of the night. Iannetta holds at 2nd. Anderson came into the game with 2 hits and 24 at-bats. Tonight he's 2 for 3. And that will be the last pitch that Rich Hill will throw. Scott Alexander's on his way in as Rich Hill exits stage left. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Rich Hill's night is done after 6 2/3, a run and 6 base hits. Struck out 10, didn't walk anybody. The runners on base are his statistical responsibility as Scott Alexander takes over to make his 35th appearance. An ERA just a shade under 4, opponents hitting .248 against him. DJ LeMahieu with 2 on and 2 out. LeMahieu at .277. No balls and 1 strike.
The strikeouts for Rich Hill, the 10, and the pitches over 104 pitches for the night, both season highs.
So he did his job tonight. Iannetta is at second base and Anderson is at first. Neither with blazing speed. LeMahieu, slow roller, tough play for Turner, but he makes it easily as it turns out. All he had to do is back up a couple of steps for the force out. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left, 7th inning stretch. 1-0 Colorado.
Well, fans, bring the kids to Dodger Stadium on July 1st when the Dodgers close out the Rocky Series beginning at 1:10 p.m. The first 12,000 kids, 14 and under, will take home a Junior Dodgers Justin Turner jersey tee, courtesy of 99 cents only stores. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Gerardo Parra has been injected into the game in left field. Ian Desmond moves from left field to first base. Pat Valaika, who provided the only run of the game, a home run in the 5th, is the odd man out. Rick Honeycutt and his student, the postmortem. So the Dodgers have 9 outs to come up with a run or two, trailing it 1-0. But Anderson has been terrific in his first 6 innings, only 72 pitches. He has struck out 7 and hasn't walked anybody. Turner in his T-shirt to lead off in the bottom of the 7th. He's 1 for 2. Bellinger on deck and Matt Kemp to follow. Turner struck out in his first at-bat and singled to right. So Anderson just 72 pitches through the first 6. No balls, 1 strike to Justin Turner. Anderson with 7 strikeouts on the night. His season high for a game is 9. Quickly ahead 0-2 to Turner. Just before Anderson gets ready to pitch, Turner vacates the batter's box. Now he's back in. And he is down. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Anderson. 8 on the night. And that's the first out of the 7th.
I mean, he has gone after people with that cutter. He's got some good placement. He's mixed up his pitches to put people away. It just hasn't been the cutter. He's done it with 4-seam fastballs as well. He's done it with breaking balls.
Like so many of the Rockies pitchers. Now here's Bellinger. 1 ball, no strikes. Anderson struggles at Coors Field, but in his last 8 road starts, he's 3-0 and has held the opposition to .211 batting average. 2 balls and no strikes. Bellinger has popped to short and fouled to third. Shift on. Only Arenado on the left side of the infield. Anderson delivers a strike. And it's 2-1. Well, if you're going to have only 1 guy on the left side of the infield, might as well be Arenado.
Yeah, he's one who could probably cover it all by himself.
Can't cover that. Bellinger with a line drive, single to right. A 1-out base hit for Bellinger, and Kemp coming up.
Bellinger does a good job getting that barrel to the ball down and in. And swinging the batter back as of late. He's been hot coming in the last 7 games, batting .333. Hasn't just been the long ball for Cody Bellinger. He's had that too, but also hitting some line drives. That was another one.
Now here's Kemp. Second among National League outfielders in the All-Star voting. 1 for 2 tonight. Got under it. Gerardo Parra. 2 out.
Second baseman number 11, Logan Forsythe.
Now here's Forsythe. Desperately looking for a hit. He's 0 for his last 20. He has flied out and bounced into a double play. In the bottom of the 8th in Arizona, the Giants are leading the Diamondbacks 2-1. Arizona began the night 3.5 in front of the Dodgers, 5.5 in front of San Francisco. Forsythe takes high, 1 ball, no strikes. Dodgers have not had a runner as far as second base tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike to Logan Forsythe.
The Colorado Rockies are 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Just 3 at-bats with runners in scoring position. Tells you how effective Rich Hill was over the course of this game. But Dodgers have not had an at-bat with a runner in scoring position.
They've had just 4 hits all night. No walks. The 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. The home run by Valaika, his first of the year. Valaika has 15 career home runs. 4 coming against the Dodgers, including the one tonight in the 5th inning. Two and one to Forsythe. Fly ball, right field. Drifting on back is Noah Cuevas making the catch, second out of the 7th. Rockies 1-0 as we head to the top of the 8th. But before we get here, we'll go there to the studio for a preview of Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by your Southern California Ford dealers.
All right, thanks, Charlie. On the pregame show, Jerry, you talked about the Dodgers needing to do better, hitting with runners in scoring position. They haven't even gotten a runner to second base yet tonight.
Yeah, very strange. Bats need to come alive late in the ball game.
Got to solve Tyler Anderson. These two guys will break it down after the game, plus reaction from the clubhouse.
Blackman leading it off for the Rockies in the 8th. Alexander on in relief of Hill as Blackman takes a strike. And it's 1-1. Blackman tonight 0 for 2 and hit by a pitch. Arenado on deck and Story to follow. 2-1. Rich Hill tonight 10 strikeouts, no walks. 15th time in his career he has struck out at least 10. His career high was 11. Two balls and 2 strikes to Blackman. Blackman at 272. Easy play for Bellinger. Crowd tonight 41,909. With tonight's attendance, the Dodgers reached the 2 million mark. They have drawn 2 million for 46 consecutive years and 52 of the 57 years at Dodger Stadium. Here's Arenado, who is 1 for 3. Blowing outside, 1 ball, no strikes. We're up down in Lake Forest. A Dodger fan. Well hit to left, and Nolan Arenado has just crushed his 20th home run of the year, leads the National League, and gives the Rockies a 2-0 lead on the Dodgers with 1 out in the 8th.
Well, Rich Hill was able to strike him out his prior 2 at-bats. We even talked about his last strikeout where he looked fooled on a fastball, but you can't make a mistake to Nolan Arenado. Despite the way that last at-bat looked, he will make adjustments from at-bat to at-bat, from pitch to pitch, and he will make you pay.
Just thinking back to his last at-bat in the 6th when he struck out, he returned to the dugout. He was angry. He was ready to fling the helmet. 1 at-bat later, that's forgotten.
Well, this is what we're talking about. This is where we see where he was just looking for another pitch, gets fooled. Well, this one he's not fooled. Whether he was guessing, whether he guessed right, or he was just looking for a pitch to drive, whatever it may have been, he got it and did not miss.
So the Rockies now 2-0 on a pair of solo home runs, Arenado and Valleca. That's banged into right center field. Trevor Story is 2 for 4.
First baseman number 20, Ian Desmond.
Alexander exhaling in frustration. Yeah, the Dodger bullpen has been huffing and puffing to the point where, of course, Walker Buehler started yesterday. He's been sent out to Rancho Cucamonga today just to regain his strength and catch his breath after having suffered through that microfracture of the rib. So Kershaw was great. Buehler struggled. Goodell struggled. And Ferguson pitched quite a bit yesterday. So the Dodger bullpen is somewhat taxed. Barnes does a nice job of digging it out. Story, the runner at first base, has 10 stolen bases this year in 13 tries. There goes Story. Throw to second base. Not in time. Throw a little bit high. And for Story, his 11th stolen base of the year.
Story just gets a good jump, just goes on the very first move. Alexander had a couple of pickoff moves over there over the course of this at bat. You might want to have a look there. That was close.
Second base umpire Lance Barksdale with the call. And Brian Gorman is the crew chief, and so they will don the headsets.
From that angle, I wasn't sure if he got the tag on him. The glove was on the leg or not. But from that angle, if his glove was on him, he is out. Yeah, from that angle we can see that he did get the glove on him right when he went down. This angle you can see that the glove is there before his hand is at second. So now that we know that he was touched when the glove went down, and now we can see the other angle, they should overturn this.
Well, you got 41,000 fans in agreement with you,
Yeah.
You know how to play the room. That's Brian Gorman, the taller of the two umpires, and he is from umpire lineage. Tom Gorman, whose dad was a player and a terrific umpire. Brian, the crew chief, in his 27th year. Lance Barksdale with the mustache and goatee. And Austin Barnes has been looking at the replay a half a dozen times on the scoreboard. We are in the hurry up and wait portion of our program. Was the evidence incontrovertible? Taylor at second base talking with Trevor Story. And the headsets are off. And the call is out. Austin Barnes throws out his fourth would-be base stealer of the year. Right there. Ian Desmond, 2 balls and a strike with 2 out. Take the strike. It's 2-2. Looking to the bottom of the 8th, it'll be the bottom third of the Dodger order. Puig, Barnes, and of course a pinch hitter for Alexander. Dodgers on the bench tonight. 3 lefties, Muncy, Utley, and Peterson, and the switch hitter Grandal. The 2-2 comebacker. Alexander's got it. Goes to first, and the inning is over. The Arenado home run is 20th of the year. Colorado 2-0. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jim Beam, the official bourbon of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Visit the new Jim Beam Bourbon Bar at Dodger Stadium. We head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Cheers. Yasiel Puig will lead it off. Austin Barnes on deck. Jimmy Garcia beginning to warm in the Dodger bullpen. They've got 6 outs left. They're trailing by 2. Puig is 1 for 2. Anderson's 85th pitch is a strike, and it's 0-1. There are many reasons why Buddy Black doesn't want to go to his bullpen. Most importantly tonight is the way Anderson has pitched. He has scattered 4 hits. He has struck out 8, hasn't walked anybody. The Rockies have not yet had a complete game this year. Here's the 1-1. 2-1 to Yasiel Puig. Now 3-1. As Puig is able to check his swing. For Anderson, this is just his second 3-ball count of the night. Now 3-2. Bottom of the 9th in Arizona, Giants 2-1. Puig takes a walk. First one given up by Anderson all night.
And that was a close one, but fans, you can celebrate Independence Day at Dodger Stadium when the boys in blue meet the Pittsburgh Pirates. Enjoy holiday fireworks on July 3rd and return the next day to enjoy the best fireworks show in town on July 4th, both courtesy of Budweiser. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Max Muncy in the on-deck circle to pinch hit, but first, Austin Barnes coming up. He's 0 for 2. The leadoff walk to Puig. Barnes takes inside. 1 ball, no strikes. And now with Anderson perhaps showing the first hints of fatigue. Bud Black still doesn't want to go to the bullpen. He's got nobody warming up yet. One of those fellas will get a call before long. Barnes breaks his back. Arenado throws to second, out at second, out at first. Double play. Well, you had a Gold Glover at third base, throwing to a Gold Glover at second base, and that's how you get a 5-4-3 double play on a ball that wasn't hit all that hard.
I mean, 2 quick releases. Nolan Arenado knowing that has to get it over there in a hurry. Gives it a nice strong throw. And the Mayhew has a nice turn at second base.
For Anderson, now 2 out, nobody on. This is his longest career outing. And this will be the 93rd pitch to home run Muncy. Takes a ball inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Who saw Max Muncy coming?
He did. He's like, I think he kept playing the song, "Put me in, coach.
I'm ready to play."
That's it.
Today.
Just kept walking by Dave Roberts' office and was playing that.
5 career home runs. This year he's got 17. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Alana, Muncie unable to go at least start tonight. What was the deal on that?
Well, basically, just finally getting the night off. They've been running him out there pretty continuously. He's made a start every single day since June 16th, guys. But we asked him earlier, did he just go again? Now Charlie Blackman's going to come in and get this one. Basically, I asked him, do you think you were going to have 17 home runs? Did you see that coming? He's like, nope, I didn't even see that coming.
We'll go to the ninth now with Colorado leading 2-0. Time for the pitching preview, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. That's tomorrow. First pitch at 4:15. It's the Fox game. Marquez making his 16th start. Maeda coming off an outstanding start in his last outing. And that's game 2 of the 3-game series. In game 1, it's the Rockies leading it 2-0. There's young Mr. Marquez. 23-year-old right-hander, and now here is Yimi Garcia to pitch the ninth and try to keep the Dodgers to within 2.
Trying to get back and finding it for Yimi Garcia over his last 3 appearances. Has struggled a little bit. 0-1. He has 1 blown save. He's given up 5 runs. Now 2 of them are just earned, but batting average against has been .462.
Well, the bullpen in the last week or so has certainly been taxed. Iannetta leading it off. No balls and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. In the 4-game series against the Cubs, 21 of the 26 runs the Dodgers gave up came in the 6th inning or later. Iannetta deep to left, and that one is gone. 3 solo home runs tonight for the Rockies. For Iannetta, his 6th of the year. It is now 3-0 Colorado. Valleca a home run in the 4th. Arenado a home run in the 8th. And Iannetta hits one here in the 9th.
Well, in baseball, they say with a curveball, if you hang it, they'll bang it. And that's exactly what Chris Iannetta did with that breaking ball that just kind of hung at the top of the strike zone. As a hitter, when you see that coming, your eyes get really big. You recognize it, and you're just going, I sure hope I don't foul this one off and miss it, because it's going to go a long way.
So you had Roadrunner eyeballs. At least Iannetta did. as Cuevas swings and misses. That's Edward Paredes now warming in the Dodger pen. So the bullpen has been an issue in the last week or so. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The starters have done fine for the Dodgers. All inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last 9 games, the Dodger starters a .270 ERA. 3rd best in the National League. But the bullpen has been taking on some water. In the last 5 games, Dodger bullpen an ERA of 8.5, and the opponents are hitting .366 against it. Noel Cuevas. Wade Davis is warming up now in the Rocky bullpen. Again, the bullpen has been, to be diplomatic, a bit of an issue for Bud Black and his Rockies. Comebacker. First out of the 9th.
Left fielder number 8, Gerardo Parra.
Gerardo Parra coming up. This is his first at-bat of the night. Parra's at .306. One ball and no strikes. Parra is a notorious streaky hitter. When he is hot, he's unstoppable. And when he's not, he can't catch a cold. Well, he's hit safely in 8 of his last 9, during which time he's hitting .433. Tyler Anderson, it looks like his night may be reaching an end, as Carlos Gonzalez is in the on-deck circle. Two balls and 1 strike to Gerardo Parra. Anderson, the longest outing of his career and probably his best. 8 innings, 4 hits, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. And no runs. Parra fouls it back. Anderson is 3 outs away from his 5th win of the year, and the Dodgers will have 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th to try to figure out how to come up with at least 3. Two and 2 to Parra with a shift on the right side of the infield. Garcia misses low. It's 3 and 2, and the outfield plays him the other way. Three balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Parra down on strikes. That's the 2nd out of the 9th.
Pinch hitter number 5, Carlos Gonzalez.
Like Parra, Gonzalez is a streaky hitter. On the year, he's at 274. He's one of those guys who actually hits a little bit better on the road. In his last 11 road games, he's hitting 326.
You don't say that too often from guys from Colorado.
Yeah. But for the Rockies, it's been a weird year in many ways. They have a better record on the road than they do at home. Bud Black's team is 24-20 on the road, 15-22 at home. Oh, 1. It's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, 9th inning. So Yimi Garcia, this has been an effort. His 20th pitch in his 19th appearance. 3-1. Rockies still haven't figured out a way. Now they're in business a quarter century. How to have a sustaining team that wins both at home a mile high and on the road. Gonzalez going to need a new bat.
Well, you're talking about how much better they are on the road than at home this year. Well, the offense is always there. And especially looking at this lineup, it's always been the pitching. We talked about coming into this game, the struggles that the bullpen has had, the starters have had. And most of the guys are on the pitching staff are better on the road than at home, because we all know that it is a hitter's ballpark over there in Colorado, and it is tough to pitch there. And it's not just because the ball carries in the altitude, it's also because the ball doesn't break the same as they do away from the park.
3-2. Carlos Gonzalez checked his swing and will do it again. The other thing, and we've talked about it over the years, Coors Field with those enormous dimensions from power alley to power alley. Everybody says, well, it's the home runs that kill you there. No, it's the doubles and triples that kill you there. You play in, the balls go over your head. You play back, they'll drop in. Here's a 3-2. Gonzalez struck out. That ends the inning. But the leadoff home run in the ninth from Chris Iannetta has given the Rockies a 3-0 lead. Last licks for the Dodgers. close it out for the Rockies in search of his 23rd save of the year. Again, the bullpen for the Rockies has been adventuresome. In fact, their .553 ERA, dead last in the National League. And while Davis has converted 22 out of 26, got an ERA of 4 1/4. The Rockies went out and invested a lot of money in trying to beef up their bullpen from last year. Well, so far they haven't got a whole lot on their return. Anderson went 8 innings for the Rockies tonight. No runs and 4 hits. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. .96 pitches, 65 for strikes. Taylor leading it off in the bottom of the 9th. He's 0 for 3 tonight. No balls and 1 strike to Chris Taylor. The Dodgers, who've been doing it lately with solo home runs, getting a taste of their own medicine tonight. 3 solo home runs for Colorado. As Taylor fouls it off, it's 0-2. Pat Valaika in the 5th. Nolan Arenado in the 8th and Chris Iannetta in the 9th. Kike Hernandez on deck. Taylor takes low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Taylor on 1 and 2 is done. First out of the bottom of the 9th. And the 3rd time Taylor's gone down on strikes tonight.
Number 14, Kike Hernandez.
Hernandez 0 for 3. So Wade Davis in search of his 23rd save of the year. And the Dodgers are in danger of being shut out for the 7th time. Correction, their 6th time. First time Hernandez has ever faced Wade Davis. Into short center. Story, 2 out. The Giants beat the Diamondbacks tonight 2-1.
Turner.
So barring a dramatic comeback, the Dodgers will remain 3.5 behind Arizona, 1 in front of the Giants. As Turner steps in, he's 1 for 3. Well, you could bank on the fact that Twig and count his pennies and his own little piggy bank. into left field. Turner breaks up the shutout. The Dodgers stay alive. Justin Turner's 5th home run of the year. Now 3-1. Like money in the bank.
Not just a piggy bank, it's a rally bank.
Oh, you're just being
And Justin Turner might be saying, every time I come out to hit, hey, Yasiel, can you bring out the piggy bank and play with it a little bit so I can get a pitch up in the zone and hit it out?
For Turner, his 5th home run of the year. Dodgers now to within 2. But they're down to their final out. Bellinger 1 for 3. One ball and no strike.
New record for the Dodgers for home runs in a month. Came into this game tied 53. That was their 54th for the month of June.
Bellinger on 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Davis, that's the 4th home run he has given up. Bellinger, 2-1. Bud Black has got to be thinking, not again.
I think Bud Black's thinking, I really don't want to see the tying run come to the plate.
Bellinger on 2-1. Now it's 2-2. 95 at the knees, inside part of the plate. Dodgers down to their last strike. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 3-2. The Dodgers refuse to go quietly into this good night. Davis, the sign from Iannetta. That's the game. Davis records the save. The Rockies hang on to beat the Dodgers tonight 3-1. 3 runs. 9 hits for Colorado. The Dodgers 1 run and 5 hits. All the runs tonight. Solo home runs. Valleca, Arenado, and Iannetta for the Rockies. Turner for the Dodgers. Tyler Anderson, a 4-hit shutout through 8. Davis completes the deal. So that is a wrap for us. For Nomar Garcia-Parra and Alana Rizzo, Charlie Steiner saying good night and goodbye from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Rockies win tonight 3-1. Now stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by your Southern California Ford dealers.